Hi guys, I'm Tony the vet, and today we're going to be talking about pet rabbits. Now, rabbits are one of the most common pets to be kept after the dog and cat, and they're a very good family pet usually. They're very social. They're okay on their own, but they're probably better in a little group. Maybe one or two together would be the ideal. But your pet rabbit has a few little things that you need to look out for when you pick them up or collect them. The most important thing is to make sure that they're living independently and they're able to eat solids. They're not reliant on their mum anymore. So you don't want to get them when they're too young. Make sure as well, if you can, just to see the parents if they are homebred rabbits, just to see how they're going to turn out and what you can expect when your rabbit gets into adulthood. So the teeth of the rabbit are very, very important to its overall health. The gut is reliant on receiving all the nutrients it's going to get in a special little system. It's very much related to its cecum and volatile fatty acids and all these very interesting things that are affected by what it's eating. So if it's not eating its hay or its grass, it's going to have trouble. Now, if the mouth isn't aligned properly or the teeth are a little bit sharp at the back where the molars are, so they can't grind their teeth, they're going to become inappetent. And if that happens, they're going to get gut stasis. Gut stasis is very dangerous to a little rabbit because without being able to produce all the different energy sources that it has in its tummy, it's not going to be well and it's going to become very, very sick. So it's very important that they're eating enough hay, good quality hay and fodder to keep their teeth from getting sharp. It's very important that you don't give them too much of the mixes and all the various grains and things, because they will preferentially eat that because they have a little bit of a sweet tooth like ourselves. So you've got to watch out for that, and just remember that the hay is the mainstay of the diet for the rabbit. If it's not getting enough hay, it's going to have probably dental issues. That then will affect its gut, and if its gut is affected, you're going to have a very sick rabbit. Rabbits don't respond well to stress, so if they're not eating and they're not getting all the nutrients they need, you're probably going to end up in a little hospital scenario where they're going to need supplementary food supplies and maybe IVs. So you want to be a little bit careful that they're eating and just monitor that they're intaking enough hay. I can't overemphasize enough how important the hay is for them. That should be the mainstay of their diet. The rabbits are generally okay on their own, as I say, but if you can keep them in groups, you want to make sure you know the gender of your rabbit. So if you have a male and a female, you're probably going to want to neuter them because you will almost certainly have little bunnies running around pretty quickly, and you're going to have the issue of trying to rehome them as well. So it's always a good idea, if you can, to neuter your rabbit once you get them home. Another thing you need to be very careful of, especially in the summertime, is that their bum and their back end stays nice and clean, especially if they have access to the outdoors. Rabbits are really prone to getting a lot of debris around their back end, and when the weather's warm and flies are about, they're very prone to getting what's called fly strike, which is basically little maggots getting in their fur and on their skin, and they will attack them and it can end up in a real mess. So you've got to be very careful in a sunny climate that there isn't any hygiene issues. Especially the main issue they often have is when they're overweight. So if your rabbit is getting too much of the grains and all the mixed feeds that they produce commercially, the worry is that the poo will get loose and wet, and if they can't clean themselves properly, they're going to be a target for the flies. So if they get overweight, they can't clean themselves well, they can't get down to their tummy to clean themselves. So it's important that you don't have an overweight rabbit, because that will be a problem for you. So good quality nutrition is very, very important and is the mainstay of rabbit husbandry and looking after your rabbit and keeping it nice and safe and well. Rabbits are generally very easy. They're not high maintenance pets usually. The only other thing you might want to keep an eye on is their feet, and make sure that there's a routine nail clip perhaps, because if they're not on a rough surface or they're not digging, they can often get quite long and they can be quite sharp. Especially be very careful as well if you are handling your rabbit or you have people over who aren't familiar with your rabbit. Just if they are picking him up or her up, make sure they support the bum when they pick them up. Don't swing your rabbit. They're a little bit predisposed to having lower back issues and paralysis, so always support the weight of your rabbit across its whole body. That will hopefully lead to less chance of any back end issues where they get paralyzed and things like this. So just be a little bit careful with them and make sure they're not prone to stress and people upsetting them. Also, if there's any strange animals about, like cats and dogs, that they're not familiar with, that can also stress them out and again lead to ailments, usually affecting the gut. So low stress, keep them well stocked with hay, a ready supply of clean water, and you should hopefully have a nice, happy, healthy rabbit. So that's it from me, Tony the Vet, and I'll see you soon.